Selfish Babe, it is your girl, Olenike Osibowale, bringing you back another Selfish Babe podcast. And today's podcast episode is an affirmations episode. And it's kind of coinciding with the last podcast episode, which is when I was talking about you doing you and you just kind of making choices for yourself and expressing who you are. And even if you go to ask other people's opinions, you think about the opinions, but you're not going to choose their opinions simply because they gave you it, but because you've sat on it and decided what was best for you. So I was like, well, what affirmations can I give my selfish babes that want to do more of that want to choose themselves more, that really want to operate in their authenticity, and that want to do them without too much judgment of themselves, so that you can really fully be who you are, like who you actually are and not who people want you to be. And so I came up with 5 different affirmations. I actually wrote them down this time. And I'm going to repeat each affirmation 5 times. I'm going to have you also repeat them as I say them. And so I will leave room after I say them for you to say them. And then I think at the end, I'm going to affirm it to you as well. You guys know sometimes I do that within the podcast episode. If you see this little puppy next to me, her name is Superstar. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the Selfish Babe podcast YouTube channel. She's right next to me, so you'll see glimpses of her from time to time. She's laying down next to me. And remember that each and every episode of Selfish Babe is sponsored by my spiritual women's wellness company, Evolving Butterfly. It is where I sell my spiritual self-love products for women who want to transform, want to tap deeper into their self-love, loving themselves, choosing themselves, and for my goddesses. And so I sell the Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls, I sell the Pussy Power Rose Quartz Yoni Wash, the Queen's Vaginal Steam, and my new all-natural plant-based lubricant called Sex Magic. That also comes with the Sex Magic ebook, where I basically teach you how to do sex magic, giving you some affirmations and prayers that you can say in your self-pleasure ritual solo or with a partner. And so you can check out my website at evolvingbutterfly.org, and the link is below. All right, so let's start with the first affirmation. And again, remember, I am going to say it and repeat these 5 times, and I'm going to give you space to say it as well. So let's get started, Selfish Babe. I make choices that are in alignment with me, not other people. I make choices that are in alignment with me, not other people. Repeat it after me, Selfish Babe. I make choices that are in alignment with me, not other people. I make choices that are in alignment with me, not other people. I make choices that are in alignment with me, not other people. I know that this is my life, so I do what makes me happy. Repeat after me, Selfish Babe. I know that this is my life, so I do what makes me happy. I know that this is my life, so I do what makes me happy. I know that this is my life, so I do what makes me happy. I know that this is my life, so I do what makes me happy. I show up in this world as my authentic self. Repeat after me, Selfish Babe. I show up in this world as my authentic self. I show up in this world as my authentic self. I show up in this world as my authentic self. I show up in this world as my authentic self. All right, we are on the 4th affirmation. I really start to do me in the best way possible. Repeat after me, Selfish Babe. I really start to do me in the best way possible. I really start to do me in the best way possible. I really start to do me in the best way possible. I really start to do me in the best way possible. I think the fifth affirmation is my favorite one, so you guys will hear it right now. I am the shining star of my life, and so I shine brightly. Repeat after me, selfish babe. I am the shining star of my life, and so I shine brightly. I am the shining star of my life, and so I shine brightly. I am the shining star of my life, and so I shine brightly. I am the shining star of my life, and so I shine brightly. Let's see. So, sometimes I like to kind of tell you guys why I give you certain affirmations. So I think I'm going to get into that now, and then I'm going to get into the affirming you. But the first affirmation is I make choices that are in alignment with me, not other people. The reason why I gave you guys this affirmation or this prayer is because, I feel like there's a lot of maybe some selfish babes out there that struggle with doing things in life because other people in their life want them to, like maybe your mom, your dad, or family members or close friends are like, for example, I want you to be a doctor, and so I'm going to go to school and be a doctor even though I really like to do art. But my parents are going to pay for school and they want me to be a doctor, and that's what they say to do, so that's how I'm going to live my life. And then now you're like in med school and you're really unhappy and you don't really have a passion for being a doctor, but you're just doing it because they say to do it and you kind of want to make them proud, but it's not really what's in alignment with your spirit. And so you continue to ignore your spirit and you do what they do. And maybe you do become a doctor, and maybe you're in your field, and maybe you're making really great money, but you're actually not happy. You're actually depressed. And I really believe a part of that is because you are not listening to yourself. You're not making choices for yourself. You're making choices based on what other people want from you, not what you want from you. And so as a selfish babe, you make choices that are in alignment with you and what it is that you want from yourself, because you know yourself, and that's really important. There's no way to get around that. It's just really important for you to make choices for yourself because you know yourself and you love yourself. And the more you live life and the more you spend time with yourself, as I tell you guys to do, selfish babes, you will see, maybe you go out and get pancakes and they put blueberries on, and you're like, oh my God, I don't like blueberries. Now you know. Now you get pancakes without blueberries. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's just like, I'm making you affirm that you make choices that are in alignment with yourself and other people, because that can feel hard sometimes, especially depending on how you grew up, and it may not be easy to do that. And so when you are saying this affirmation or this prayer, you're really going to want to emphasize it. You're really going to want to embody it, and just maybe say it daily. Make one of these affirmations your daily prayer. And if this is you that I'm talking to, then you want to say this daily. And so when you are saying these affirmations, these prayers daily, you are embedding these prayers into your body, into your energy, into your aura, so then you can start thinking differently. And then when you start thinking differently, you're going to start acting differently. And then when you start acting differently, you're going to be doing things differently that are going to change and impact your life in the way that you want it to go. And that is how we start to create the life that we want for ourselves. And it's going to start with you loving you. And so I hope that makes sense. I know it does, but I really hope it makes sense to you. The next one is, I know that this is my life, so I do what makes me happy. Kind of goes hand in hand with the other affirmation, because these are affirmations for doing you. And so again, it's just a reminder for you to pray like, this is my life. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And I'm saying this because, again, people get into things, experiences that tie you down, that make you unhappy, even relationships that make you unhappy. And so I feel like when you're saying this prayer, you are reminding yourself like, bitch, this is my life, bitch. I need to be doing what makes me happy. Like, this is my life. And so this is just a reminder for you to say as a reminder to yourself, you're going to do what makes you happy. Again, you're going to be making actions that make you happy when you say this prayer. The next one, I show up in this world as my authentic self. Like, I just want y'all as selfish babes to really be who you are. And so when you're saying this affirmation and this prayer, I show up in this world as my authentic self. This is a really good one for those that are people pleasers and those who tend to wear a mask around people. They don't really feel like they can be themselves for whatever reason. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I don't think so. Okay, so they don't feel like they can be themselves for whatever reason, and it's just hard for them, and so they're just not themselves. And I feel like that could be really hard to live life like that. And so this prayer is gonna help you open up that energy within yourself to be yourself. It's going to help you be around people, and you're just going to like show up as yourself. You're going to maybe say something you normally wouldn't have said. You may say no to something you normally would have said yes to. You're going to start dressing the way that you want to dress versus the way that you think society thinks that you should dress or tells you how to dress. And so when you're saying that I show up in this world as my authentic self, that's in all areas and avenues of life, whatever that may be for you. I talked about dressing, I talked about speaking, but it's in all areas of life. So if you're a selfish babe that is struggling with showing up as your authentic self, this prayer, I show up in this world as my authentic self, will be really good for you to start saying multiple times a day, multiple days. The next one, I really start to do me in the best possible way. Like, that's going up with the authentic self thing. But this one is like, bitch, I'm doing me. I'm doing me, I'm doing me, I'm doing me. In my last episode, I had mentioned everybody telling me to go with a certain shoe to an outfit, and I went with the one that people probably didn't choose, like one of the ones that people didn't choose. But the reason I did that is because I liked it. So that's me. That's an example of me doing me in the best possible way. Like, people may not like certain things, but you're gonna do you in the best possible way because you're you. Again, you're showing up as your authentic self. The last one, which is my favorite one, is I am the shining star of my life, and so I shine brightly. That is just a reminder, a prayer to continue to shine brightly. When you are saying this, you are telling yourself and your body and your mind that I am going to shine brightly. And you show up like that, right? Like, you can start dressing differently and start talking differently, but you're going to be your bright self. And I think, you're just going to turn the light on yourself. You're going to turn the light on yourself when you say this prayer. Like, I am the shining star of my life, and so I shine brightly. Like, I just love it so much. So that's why I came up with that one. And so I hope you guys liked and loved these affirmations and these prayers. I do have it written in the description, so you can kind of write them out. Now I'm going to start affirming you. Okay, so let's get into part 2. You make choices that are in alignment with yourself, not other people. You make choices that are in alignment with yourself, not other people. You make choices that are in alignment with yourself, not other people. You know that this is your life, and so you do what makes you happy. You know that this is your life, and so you do what makes you happy. You know that this is your life, and so you do what makes you happy. You show up in this world as your authentic self. You show up in this world as your authentic self. You show up in this world as your authentic self. You really start to do you in the best way possible, girl. You really start to do you in the best way possible, girl. You really start to do you in the best way possible, girl. You are the shining star of your life, and so you shine brightly. You are the shining star of your life, and so you shine brightly. You make choices that are in alignment with yourself, not other people. You make choices that are in alignment with yourself, not other people. You make choices that are in alignment with yourself, not other people. You know that this is your life, and so you do what makes you happy. You know that this is your life, and so you do what makes you happy. You know that this is your life, and so you do what makes you happy. You show up in this world as your authentic self. You show up in this world as your authentic self. You show up in this world as your authentic self. You really start to do you in the best way possible, girl. You really start to do you in the best way possible, girl. You really start to do you in the best way possible, girl. You are the shining star of your life, and so you shine brightly. You are the shining star of your life, and so you shine brightly. You are the shining star of your life, and so you shine brightly. thank you, Selfish Babe. This is the end of this podcast episode, which is affirmations for you doing you. If you want to dive deeper into learning how to honor yourself, love yourself like a goddess, and just really tap deeper into your self-love, especially your spiritual self-love, then you want to check out my Selfish as Fuck Academy. In that academy, I give you, I think, 9 or 10 videos where I teach you how to start honoring your ancestors, how to start connecting to yourself, how to do mirror work, how to tap into your pussy power, how to take your spiritual baths. I show you 2 spiritual baths in this course that you can start taking, one for cleansing and one for manifesting. And I just think it's just a really perfect course for women who want to love themselves deeper. People sometimes often ask, well, how do I love myself? Take my course, download my app Selfish Babe for daily affirmations and prayers sent to your phone. But you're going to want to take my Selfish as Fuck Academy, which you can find at selfishbabe.com/courses, which is also linked below. I love my Selfish Babe so much. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening. Remember to rate this podcast 5 stars and share it with a friend today. XOXO, Selfish Babe.